Hey guys, I am not feeling good, and this is a horrible view, but this is what you get today. I have been laying on the couch all morning. I keep getting these waves of nausea, feeling like I'm gonna throw up, but I was trying to sit here and do my morning thinking, meditation, whatever you want to call it. A couple of thoughts I had. I was watching a YouTuber this morning trying to get some tips on minimalism, and number one, I think it's an awesome idea, and I have been going that way. Not completely minimalist, but as little clutter as possible. Hey Boomer. Boomer's been checking on me all morning. Go get me some ginger ale. Anyway, she was talking about minimalisms, and that one of the things she did to help with her daily habits is that first thing in the morning, she does not get online. Unless it's for work, we're talking like alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get the kids on the bed, and then what's the first thing you do? Or even the alarm goes off and you set it 15 minutes earlier so that you can get up and kind of slowly wake up and get on your phone, get your hot cocoa or coffee. Boomer, you are cracking me up. Anyway, she says that she does not get online first thing in the morning, that she waits for several hours to get online if possible, because when you're slowly waking up, she used to get on Facebook or get on the computer and go browsing, and that would just fill her head with a bunch of topics that were not important to her morning. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, that's totally true. If I get on my phone first thing in the morning, or if I turn on the TV and sit down, or if I get on the computer or any of those types of things, I don't fully wake up. In fact, I get pretty sad and unorganized, and I often will just go back to bed. Because I have an excuse. I have lupus and I don't feel well, and it's winter and all of those things. So one of the habits that I'm going to try to be bringing into my life this December is not getting on any tech first thing in the morning. And that includes TV, phones, computers, and all those things, because I'm going to try to not fill my head with all those useless topics that I didn't need in my morning in the first place, to see if it helps me get organized and get moving and get focused and all of those things. So there you go, tip for the day. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is a story. I have not talked about this yet, but it's an interesting story. We rented a house 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I had 3 little boys, and they were ages 3, 2, and 1. And we got in this house, and I immediately got pregnant with our little girl within the first 2 months. And so I was pregnant and had a 1, 2, and 3-year-old. And all of the kids were diagnosed with their autism and their sensory processing disorder, and it was really hard. But here's the story. We rented from this group from downtown called the Goldsmiths, and they're crooks. I don't know. I don't want to speak bad about people, but here's what happened. They rented us this house in the middle of nowhere because we had some money struggles with Brandon being in school, with my lupus, with 3 kids needing therapy daily for their autism and their speech and all of those things. It was madness. And I was pretty sick with my lupus and all of those things. So we rented a house out in the middle of nowhere where we could afford it, and there were decent schools. And we lived in this house for 6 months, and I was pregnant for most of that, and I was really, really sick. And the people that we rented this house from, we had a year's lease, mortgage, whatever, paying rent for a year, and we signed a year's contract, and they sold the house out from under us. Not only did they sell the house, but they started showing the house while we were still living in it. And I had my son Hunter had just turned 3, and he was in a cast. His whole leg was cast all the way up to his thigh, and so I was carrying around a 3-year-old, 6 months pregnant, and dealing with all this, and they wanted us to keep our home nice so that they can show it to potential buyers. Well, they kept showing the house and kept showing the house. They kept showing up out of nowhere to show the house when the house was a wreck. Of course, I had 3 little kids. I was pregnant. I was sick. I had a kid with a broken leg. I had autistic children. It was horrible. And about, a month, December, right around this time, in fact, I think it was almost to the day, our pipes would always freeze in that house because it was a really, really old farmhouse, and we complained all the time about the upstairs because it smelled like methane gas, and it stunk, and we had flies in our home, and we couldn't figure out what they were doing upstairs and how to get rid of them and all those things. Well, it was a really old home. At Christmas time, our pipes froze again because they never redid the pipes when they bought the home to rent it out, and our pipes exploded. First of all, our heat would always go off, and the heater would just stop working because it was propane, and they wouldn't keep propane in the tank, and we were always misplaced by that. Like, we would run out of heat, and we wouldn't have heat for 3 days. Luckily, there was a fireplace, and I would try to keep us warm. But eventually, pipes broke over our living room, and everything got destroyed. So we were not living in the home. We were basically homeless. The heat went out again. We went and stayed in my brother's basement with all of us, and me being pregnant and all of those things. And it was the 1st of December, and our pipes broke, and it destroyed all of our furniture. It destroyed TVs, it destroyed our couches, it destroyed beds, it destroyed everything. So we were basically homeless on Christmas, and it destroyed all of our Christmas stuff, everything. We had 2 full weeks where we had nowhere to live, and because they were coming in to fix the house, but they didn't get to it because it was way outside of town. So we were homeless for like 3 weeks of December with no Christmas, and it was horrible. And it's gonna make me cry right now, but it just makes me think about how grateful I am to be in this home, and how lucky we are to have the jobs that we have, and to be able to give our day of service. Is that today is a National Day of Service, and it starts off a month of sharing the light. And one of the things that we wanted to do as a family this year is to focus on other people, and to realize that it is not all about what's going on in our life. And when we get sad and lonely and depressed on the holidays, that it's really good to think back to the hard times and remember how far you've come, and then to take that how far you've come and to be able to bless other people. So my goal today, goodness gracious, is that I have to go to the grocery store anyway. I have to go get food for the family. And when I'm at the grocery store, one of the things that I'm going to do is try to serve others today in a way that is shocking and surprising to them. So I am going to get my groceries, and while I'm shopping, I'm going to be keeping my ears open and try to find another young family. This is going to make me cry. That is struggling for the holidays. And I'm going to buy their groceries because I can, and because I want to, and because I know it's what the Savior would do. And I want to take today and not only help them buy their groceries, but I want to help them load their car. I want to help them with the little kids. I want to maybe buy a treat for the little kids, a box of candy canes, something. Because I know that when we were homeless for the month of December that year, when I had tiny children and I was pregnant, we had nowhere to go. Someone opened their home to us and allowed us a floor to sleep on. And not only that, but we went to buy a Christmas tree, and we were completely overdrawn, and we had no money. And when we had loaded the tree up, it was a $20 Christmas tree. And we were at this tiny little Christmas tree lot by our house. And when we went to pay for it, we couldn't. We ran the cards. We tried to find cash. We didn't have the money. We thought we did. We thought we had gotten a paycheck, but we didn't know. We didn't go there knowing that we had no money. Because we had all of our kids with us, these people took pity on us. They gave us a Christmas tree, which changed our world for that year. And it made such a huge difference. And I want to do that this month for people, because I know there are people in need, and because we are not, I want to give. And even if we weren't in a position to give, I would find some way to do it.
So I hope that you guys are taking the challenge of bringing light into the world this month. And today is day number 1. And for me, it is surprising a family in need with something that they need by just going out and listening while I'm doing my chores. So I hope you guys join me. Thanks.
By the way, I forgot to finish the story about the house. They sold the house out from under us in February once they finally got it all fixed. And we found out through the person who bought it did an inspection. And we found out that there had been a methane gas leak in the house upstairs, which is why all the flies were there, which is why the upstairs smelled like methane all the time. And the house could have actually blown up. So I spent 6 months pregnant in a home that no one did an inspection on to rent out, and it was completely unsafe. We're lucky we didn't die. I'm lucky I didn't lose the baby. It's a whole nother long story, but yeah, little blessings.
Hey guys, it's me. I've been stuck on the couch all day feeling pretty ill, a little bit nauseous, and I think it's mostly allergy related, but not feeling great. But since today starts the month of our church doing, or at least promoting, the Light Up the World promo, where you do a kind deed every day for 1 month. And since today is December 1st, today starts the hashtag Light Up the World. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile a folder, and I'm going to put the printables up online here, so that if you guys want to use these printables that I found to keep Christ-centered in our holiday, feel free to print them off. They're all on Pinterest, and I'll give you the links. So for the beginning, besides me going to find someone to serve today, I'm going to be sharing these printables so that your family, like ours, can try to keep Christ in the center of your holiday.